Welcome to the WoW Ironman Challenge. If you don't know the rules of the Ironman Challenge, I will link them in the description. But basically, in a simple sense, I cannot die. I can only use white gear, no talents, no players helping me in any way, shape, or form, and I have to level all the way to 60. And my goal here is to do a good 10-15 minute episode here and there every day and upload it to YouTube for you guys, for you all to enjoy. In addition to this, obviously Iron Man is easier for some things like allied races or like Death Knights and Demon Hunters. I'm going to go with just standard, either Horde or Alliance, and my goal is to do one of these on every class. I've done a lot of practice, and I'll tell you that I've gotten really close with some before. Hunters are by far the absolute easiest to do it with because you can grab a pet to tank for you. Whereas someone like a cloth user is one of the hardest to use. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use a druid. I think that would be one that I haven't had too much time to play around with. And what I like about druids is their utility makes a big difference. I can stealth, I can dash away super quickly. I can switch into bear to tank up a little bit. So I think the utility of a druid will really do a lot of good work for me. Now, I've decided to do this on the Nazjatar realm. So I'm going to start with a druid here on the Nazjatar realm. This is a new player's realm. That way there's just less people around in general in order to help me make sure that I do not, by any means, use the auction house or anything like that. I definitely need to change the hair color. This is god-awful. How do I get the hair out of his face? How do I get the hair out of his face? Is it the face? No. I'm so confused. How do I get the hair out of his face? Am I the only one lost here? Torns have eyes, guys, right? There it is. I was missing what I was supposed to do. Okay. Let's do... Let's do this. Okay. That works for me. Alright, so we're going to name this guy Iron Wigs. And Exile's Reach is not allowed. It's just a little too easy, gives you way too many levels, and doesn't really let you die very easily. So we don't do Exile's Reach with Iron Man challenges. So we're going to go ahead and load into the world, and we're going to get started. So basically, if there's any rules that you're not sure about, just kind of watch as I go along. You are not allowed to use, as I mentioned, any help from other players. And any help from your own character. So nothing. And I started this on a new server just to make it a little bit easier to keep everything organized. But no help whatsoever is permitted. And that to me is a very big thing. Okay, so I'm going to start my timer here when I get in.
Great
Come on,
tragedy
man.
has rocked the Tauren tribes
Really have to load again?
and shaken their one.
Also, no professions. So I can't use stuff like skinning, leatherworking to make my own gear. I can't use any of that. I'm going to go ahead and just turn all my add-ons off. I don't think I really need any add-ons right now, if at all. Turn my auto loot on. Let's turn my action bars on. I'm going to go to... never seen that before, but sure, I'll let it do that. Just want to make sure I've got everything the way I normally have it. And you can only display character-only achievements. This is how you track it, and this is how the Iron Man website tracks it. That way I can only see the statistics of my character that'll show me that I've never killed, that I've never died. Okay, that's how that works. So let's get started. Oh, that's how that works. So they changed the background, which I actually like. It actually looks a little cleaner. Keep that in mind. I actually kind of like that. Now take advantage of your early levels in something like this, because as you go on, it is going to get tougher. Prioritize every quest you can. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of XP here and there as I move around, because at the end of the day, in a challenge like this, you have to prioritize just about every challenge that you possibly can, because it is going to get a lot harder. So one of the things you have to make sure you do is take advantage of these early levels when it's easy and get as much XP as you can without doing too many quests, because it's going to get difficult. I prefer, I decided to go with the Tauren route this time, because the Tauren starting zone is a lot easier than the Troll starting zone, and those are the only two Horde races that can be Druids. And as it comes down to it, I have to play Horde. Alliance is not something I'm very familiar with compared to the Horde, and it just makes a lot more sense to do that. And look at that, I got myself, looks like I need to level up to level 2. Actually, Druids can't use Axis anyway. But we're going to go turn this in and see we got about halfway through XP, so that made a lot of sense. That worked out really well for us. Get some of these. And as I mentioned, only white quality gear is allowed, so you're going to do a lot of vendor gear. You probably want to save your starting zones for later. Obviously, I am going to do Bloodhoof Village, but I'm not going to go anywhere further beyond that. I'm going to get my gear from Bloodhoof Village, and then I'm probably going to move towards the Barrens after that, just to make things a little bit easier for me down the road, because those starting zones, they're going to give you about 5 levels each no matter what, and it would really help to get those starting zones later, because they will always give you white gear. So if I do a starting zone at like level 40, I get white gear for level 40, and that makes a big difference. So you want to kind of pick and choose what quests you want to do. Some are very dangerous, some are very safe, and you have to really keep in mind which ones that are good for you and which ones are not good for you. Also, rested experience is crucial, so anytime I log out, I'm going to make sure I'm in an inn, because that is absolutely crucial. You see I got level 2, I got Moonfire. That's not really going to do much for me, but this is going to be our magic maker right there, Entangling Roots. That is going to stop a lot of people from being able to damage us at all. So I'm really, really, really excited to have that Entangling Roots ability. I'd be curious to see how many people have completed it on a Druid. I'm sure it's one of the easier classes. I hear Warrior is one of the easiest ones, and then Hunters are obviously probably the absolute easiest to do. I mean, they're not by any means a difficult class to do this with. I can kind of just sneak through these guys, and they're not actually going to attack me. And I can go free this. That way I just get the quest all taken care of without risking anything. Once I get like closer to level 10 is when things will start to feel noticeably more difficult. And then from what I've seen with some practicing on other characters, it's most difficult once you get into like the level 20 range. I just recently did it on a warrior, and I failed just because of a stupid decision, but level 20 is when I really started feeling it. I think with a druid, keeping myself in check and recording this, I think my decisions are actually going to be pretty solid. I don't think I'm going to do anything that I shouldn't do. And I think that's going to make a very big difference for me this time around. Is I'm going to be so safe. I'm doing it on the Horde. I did it on the Alliance last time I tried. So I know where I'm going. I know the zones. I know the quests. I know what's safe. I know what's not. I'm on a low pop server. No one's going to mess with me. No one's going to take stuff from me. If I want to try some war mode, I know that hardly anybody's going to see me. And we'll just kind of play it by ear from there. That's really the goal. So that's what we're going to do. I might as well go ahead and just grab level 3 before I turn this in. Reason being is, again, because it's just so easy to get kills right now and get XP. Because no one can actually kill me right now at this level, which really helps. And another reason why I wanted to go with the Druid is because the Druid can also heal himself in any sticky situations, and I'm practically never going to run out of mana no matter how much I try. It's not Classic where mana is really, really easy. So it makes things a lot simpler. I mean, doing this in Classic is extremely hard. I mean, the Ironman challenge, the point of it is because it feels like Classic. It makes the game more challenging. It makes it harder to do things. You just sit back, you do quests, you don't do anything else any crazy at all, okay? So I just got the ability to heal, so that's big for me. So now I have that ability as well. So what to do now? What to do now is going to be to Go turn this guy in.
Greetings.
100 quests completed. How about that, guys? Alright, let's keep moving. I think it's hilarious how that works because I've only done 2 quests, but I'll take it. Adana Thunderhorn, and this is where we kind of do like the boss stuff in this area. I think there's also some additional stuff I have to do, but we'll find that out. I actually haven't done the post Cataclysm Torn Zone in a long time. I've done it a lot in Classic WoW because Torn was actually the first character I ever made was a Torn Hunter. I still have the character. He's on my main account, which I'll probably show off someday. But this is a... What the heck is that noise? Anyway, this is a super nostalgic zone for me just in general, but I haven't done it too much since Cataclysm. Alright. Stolen rifles and thorn collars. I have to kill a bunch of thorn collars. There's really no point in moonfiring it. They all die before they even get a chance to touch me. Eventually moonfire is going to make a difference, but really right now it doesn't. I mean, I literally don't take any damage. And what I like about this Mulgore zone is Mulgore, everything's very spread out and kind of out of your way, which does make a big difference. Because nobody can really get you too bad. You know, that's really the absolute best thing about it. So that's what I like in its entirety. So that's going to make a big difference, is that I'm going to be extremely safe. And because I'm going to be extremely safe, it's going to make my life easier. It's going to make my life less stressful. So I think if I milk this as long as I can, I'll be in pretty good shape. So that's the goal, and that's what I'm going to have to do. Hopefully I can get level 5 before that 10-minute mark. It shouldn't be that difficult. I got all the rifles I need, and I just got to kill all these thorn collars through here. And just hopefully get through the boring stuff as soon as we possibly can. Now, no dungeons are allowed either. No dungeons, no battlegrounds. I mean, it'd be cool if they allowed dungeons, because that would be like a scary challenge, because you're not allowed to have other players help you. So, like, it'd be cool if you could do a couple dungeon quests and challenge yourself to solo those for some really good XP. But either way, you probably die, so it doesn't matter at all. No pet battling, nothing like that. I mean, they really, whoever designed this challenge wanted to make it difficult, but at the same time, they wanted it to be doable. It's just a feat that you have to be a really good player to figure out how to do properly. We pretty much are just going to try as hard as we can here. And at the end of the day, I think I'm very capable of winning this. I mean, when I get Entangling Roots even, and I didn't even think about this until now, Entangling Roots is going to make my life really easy. I mean, I can root them in place, hit them with a Wrath, root them again, hit them with a Wrath, root them again, hit them with a Wrath, and they can't even move. So if I get to a point where I feel like I'm taking too much damage, I actually have that ability to make sure nothing touches me. I just have to make sure I don't fight 2 things at once. If I'm ever in a situation where I feel like I need to fight 2 things at once, I probably don't want to do that quest. I probably want to run around and find something else. And the beauty of WoW, especially with Chromie Time being a thing, is there's always going to be enough quests for me to do. So I should be in pretty good shape to pretty much be able to do whatever I want and keep myself safe. And I'd like to see if I can do an all-time run. My all-time run was level 53, so my goal would be to complete the challenge. 53 was something I did, I think, last year. And I wish I had a chance to stream or record it, because it truly was absolutely incredible. But 53 was a really, really awesome run. And I'm hoping that I can get higher. And that was on a Hunter, so on a Druid, I think it would be even easier to do something like that. And this is kind of the Entangling Roots thing I talked to you guys about. I mean, nobody's ever going to be able to touch me if I use Entangling Roots. I'm also, it's still just in the starting zone, so I can also just wrath them and they'll eventually die before they touch me. That's a little bit closer than I'm used to, though. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and light this guy up. It's funny, when you used to light the troughs, it used to kill the boars and give you credit for it. I don't think it does that anymore, does it? Oh, it did. Okay. So let's just light the trough, and then I need to kill this boar. And one more. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and kill it. And one more. And look, we're going to root him. And he can't touch me. Boom. Boom. So one wrath does open the roots back up. So you have to time it right. And from a distance, it's probably fine. And keep in mind, you can't use talents, but you can use specializations. So I'll just go balance. If I go balance, wrath will do a lot more damage. And I'll have a lot of different stuff from a range, like Starfire and Star Surge. And thus, stuff really can't touch me as long as I keep those entangling roots going. So that's going to be a really, really good sign for us. That's going to make this a lot of an easier challenge. And I know over the course of these first few episodes, you guys will think that it's easy. It really isn't. And you guys will definitely be able to tell as time goes on. It's just going to take some time. So I got my shape shifting. I got my level 5. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.